Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, scary moments for some Quinnipiac students this week. We have the latest developments on several accidents that happened across Hamden.
And election season is officially underway. A look at the Hamden primary results.
Plus, your favorite local restaurant may be an award winner. We'll bring you to the Student Choice Awards for 2023.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
It's 9:30 on a Wednesday night. Welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Katie Cohen.
And I'm Connor Core. It's been a busy few days across campus and in the town of Hamden. Let's jump right into it, starting with some scary moments for some Quinnipiac students.
Yeah, Connor. There have been multiple car accidents across campus this week, one even causing a car to go up in flames. That crash happened last Thursday after a driver lost control and crashed into a tree right at the bottom of the York Hill campus. The driver was not hurt, and an officer on scene told us they admitted to speeding down the hill that connects campus and Sherman Avenue. No word yet if the driver was a Quinnipiac student. Another big crash happened on Saturday afternoon when a shuttle collided with a car near the Sitco on Whitney Avenue. We're working to learn more about this incident right now. Q30 witnessed two other car crashes, one on Friday at the corner of Whitney and Sherman Avenue, right near the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot after 1 p.m. The other was Sunday afternoon where Evergreen meets Whitney.
Staying in Hamden, it's election season, and registered voters got the chance to cast their ballot to decide who will be the next mayor of Hamden.
They voted on Tuesday at poll stations across campus. Mayor Lauren Garrett will be staying for another term after beating her Democratic opponent, Walter Morton. She won by just under 600 votes. There were no Republican candidates.
Before the election, the Democratic candidates battled out in a debate last week.
Yeah, they got to speak about their goals for the towns and vision if they got elected. Q30's Julia Barcello was there.
On Friday, September 7th, the Whitney Center held the Hamden Democratic primary mayoral debates. Current Mayor Lauren Garrett and candidate Walter Morton discussed issues across Hamden, which will impact Quinnipiac students.
The candidates discussed topics varying from Hamden's public safety, stabilizing taxes, infrastructure, and Hamden's fiscal health. Beginning the debate, the candidates stated their goals for Hamden in 10 years.
So my vision for Hamden is continued financial growth.
To be like the community it was when I grew up as a child. It was a place that was affordable, it was safe, and it had great public schools.
In terms of planning and zoning, in a one-on-one interview, Garrett explained how the town has changed its planning and zoning regulations to benefit Quinnipiac.
New zoning regulations called a Planned Development District, PDD. And this was put into place specifically so that Quinnipiac could have an easier time bringing plans to the Planning and Zoning Department.
In terms of the relationship between the town and Quinnipiac, both candidates are looking to improve collaboration. In an interview, Morton expressed his appreciation for Quinnipiac.
Yeah, well, first thing is you got to look at Quinnipiac for what they are, which is a community partner. And I think it's been a missed opportunity of many administrations in Hamden that there hasn't been a better partnership between the town and students.
Garrett stated that she believes the relationship has already improved.
So I think that we have a much better relationship than we've ever had before. I work a lot with Judy Olean and Bethany Zemba, and we talk about what we both need.
Morton had plans to work closely with the university.
Definitely work collaboratively with the administration and the students to move us both forward and get us where we'd like to be. Quinnipiac is doing well, Hamden does well, Hamden's doing well, Quinnipiac does well.
With primaries wrapping up last night, make sure to go cast your ballot in November. Reporting from Hamden, I'm Julia Barcello, Q30 News.
Back on campus, you might see some changes to Bobcat Way next week. Starting Monday, the part of Bobcat Way from the security booth to the Commons Bridge will be closed for construction. You can still access the rest of Bobcat Way if you come in the entrance by Mountain View right near Hogan Lot. We'll keep you updated on any changes to this construction path.
It's time to clean your room. Dorm inspections started yesterday and continue until Friday. All residence halls will be checked by an RA. Residential Life is reminding you that any prohibited items will be taken during the inspections. These include interior grills, extension cords, candles, and drug and alcohol paraphernalia. They'll also be checking for damage in your room, overfilled trash, and even fire hazards.
There's a new package delivery system in the Mount Carmel Student Center. If you ordered a package, you'll get an email when it arrives with information on how to pick it up. But some students say they've been waiting for their packages for weeks.
So I ordered stuff through Amazon 3 weeks ago. It came here 2 Fridays ago, and I still have not gotten a single email about it. I asked, and they were just like, oh, we're busy.
We reached out to the school to learn more about the backup of packages and have not heard back.
In other news, the School of Medicine is celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Yeah, they held events all day at the North Haven campus. Q30's Sydney Weimer was there to see the action.
Today, the Quinnipiac community has celebrated a very important 10-year milestone for the Frank H. Netter School of Medicine. The medical school, located on Quinnipiac University's North Haven campus, just marked 10 years since its first class of students were welcomed. Established in 2010, the medical school was named in honor of renowned surgeon and medical illustrator Dr. Frank H. Netter. With its initial class in 2013, the school had just 60 students enrolled. 10 years later, the school has grown to a total enrollment of nearly 400 students. To recognize its success, events held today on the North Haven campus included a symposium, keynote speech, and celebratory reception that featured multiple speakers. The university hopes to further grow the medical program by making tuition more affordable, recently introducing the QU Netter 1 Million Reasons Scholarship campaign, aimed at supporting medical students in need of financial aid. After talking to some students, it is evident truly how much the school has grown over the past 10 years. Reporting from the Frank H. Netter School of Medicine, I'm Sydney Weimer, Q30 News.
A new major is coming to the College of Arts and Sciences. Health, Science, and Society is the name of the new major. Students were able to come to a Q&A session in the Student Center last night and answer questions about the new major. It looks at all the aspects of health field to better prepare students to be humans and connect with their patients and be future health professionals second. Professor of History Nita Prasad brought forth the new major and was able to answer questions from students.
We highly encourage students to consider double majoring because it is so incredibly easy to do that. And because really this major is meant to build upon other kinds of knowledge bases that you might already have.
We have much more ahead for you on the Q30 Newscast. First, your favorite businesses in Hamden might have shorter hours. We'll tell you what's causing their struggles.
Plus, a presidential campaign continues. There's a push to get rid of President Biden early, why some lawmakers are calling for his impeachment.
But first, we want to check in with Q30's Seth Fromowitz to look at the weather today. Seth?
Thanks, Katie and Connor. A flood warning and tornado warning earlier today in the state, but as we see towards the end of the day, it did start to clear up when we ended the day with a high of 77 and a low of 64, and it seems like it's going to stay that way all week with the clear skies as we see a high of 76 and a low of 55 tomorrow, as well as a high of 71 and a low of 58 with a little bit of overcast on Friday. Coming up next, we'll do a 7-day forecast as well as a look across the state here on Q30.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back to the Q30 Newscast. Students are getting some new employment opportunities on campus. They had the chance to walk around the quad and meet businesses from across Connecticut, like Kelly's Ice Cream and Hartford Healthcare. They learned about how their companies run and could even discuss possible job opportunities. M&T Bank representatives were there to share more about their day-to-day work.
We offer financial education resources, both a presentation that we do, but also self-directed type of online learnings that we have that's free to the public as well. We're just so thankful for the opportunity to be a partner with such a prestigious school such as Quinnipiac University here.
Local businesses in Hamden have continued to struggle to get help and keep their businesses running. One of those businesses, Bread and Chocolate, located at Whitney Avenue just before Eli and Whitney's heading southbound. New ownership starting 2 years ago have been willing to give potential employees what they need, but won't even show up after the first day after being hired.
We want to hire people. People doesn't want to work. And I don't know why. It's like, all right, we can offer you a full-time. We can offer you, tell me what did you want. And all of a sudden, they just don't show up.
The White House recently introduced a new plan that could help lower costs for some student debt. Q30's Joe Monty has a look at the program and if it could help you.
The White House recently announced a new program to help people repay and in some cases erase their student loan debt. The plan is called SAVE. It bases people's payments on their income and the size of their families.
This is a way of creating a plan to pay off the debt, but at dramatically reduced interest rates, linking it to a person's earning so that people are not paying these exorbitant amounts of interest fees, and really give people relief.
The updated plan is replacing an old plan that wasn't designed with the idea of helping people in mind. SAVE is expected to save borrowers about $1,000 a year, prevent the buildup of interest on payments, and eliminate balances of people who have been paying their loans for a long time.
A loan amount of $25,000. A traditional loan, give or take, would be about $260, $270 a month. Once you hit July of next year, that's when we move to 5% of your discretionary income, and then the payment becomes $70 a month.
It's estimated that the plan could assist more than 20 million borrowers, including 1 million of them who qualify for $0 payments. Students across the United States and across this campus have the potential to benefit from this new plan.
I have actually a lot of people in my family who do struggle paying back their student loans, and with something like this, it would help them realistically be able to pay it and not be worrying each month how they're going to pay their bills if they're not making enough money in their jobs, or maybe even prevent them from getting a second job to help pay with their student loans.
Parts of the SAVE plan were implemented this summer, but the full plan will go into effect on July 1st, 2024. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Joe Monty.
On the topic of politics, there's an impeachment effort happening right now in Washington.
Yeah, and it's all happening in the wake of a possible government shutdown. Q30's Andrew Reynolds has details on all that right now. Andrew?
Thank you, Katie and Connor. There's been a lot of political turmoil going on around the country, so let's not wait any longer. Starting all the way at the top of government, President Biden has been in the news regarding a potential impeachment trial. Republican Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy announced on Tuesday that he is directing the House to open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden over his family's business dealings. The White House has since responded to McCarthy's comments saying, quote, "extreme politics at its worst." It is only the middle of September, but a government shutdown is already looming. The House of Representatives needs to pass 12 appropriation bills by September 30th. Currently, there are no approved appropriation bills that have been passed. If no agreement is figured out by the 30th, the government will remain shut down until they decide to fund all or some of the federal agencies that require Congress to appropriate funds. The last time there was a government shutdown was back in late December of 2018 until the middle of January in 2019. After almost 20 years of working in politics, a former Republican Utah senator has announced his retirement. Mitt Romney has said today that he will not seek re-election, stating in a video that he would be in his 80s by the time of his next Senate term. Romney most notably ran for the 2012 GOP candidate and had a term as the Massachusetts governor. Romney also ran against former President Trump in 2016, but did not receive the primary vote for the Republican ticket. He is the sixth incumbent senator to announce his retirement at the end of his term in 2025, joining senators from Indiana, Delaware, Maryland, California, and Michigan. That is all for politics this week. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Andrew Reynolds.
Politics are also heating up right here at Quinnipiac. So the Student Government Association elections are coming up next week, and candidates are already campaigning.
You can cast your vote next Tuesday all day between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. The whole student body will elect one commuter senator, one international senator, and one veteran senator.
The class of 2027 will vote a whole cabinet, president, senators, everything, while the class of 2024 and 2026 will fill a few open spots. We'll make sure to check your email for the link to vote next Tuesday. We'll have much more on the winners next week right here on the Q30 Newscast. It's such an exciting time on campus. You know, you can see all the campaign posters, everyone getting really excited, going around getting their signatures.
Yeah, especially for this incoming class. There's a lot of professional development that not only happens in SGA, but all these clubs and organizations that have around campus. A lot of time to become, a different product of yourself when you first walk in the first day or first year to when you graduate 3 or 4 years later, wherever it may be. But there's still so much more to come up on the Q30 Newscast.
Rain drenched campus on Monday, and its impacts are still dragging on. We'll show you some intense flooding video sent in to us by students.
And a massive earthquake rocked Morocco this week, leaving thousands without their homes. How can you help right here in Hamden? We'll be right back.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
You.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
If you were driving in North Lot on Monday, you may have gotten caught in a wet mess.
Areas surrounding Hamden got nearly an inch of rain, and all that water caused some flooding in parking lots. Take a look at this video. You can see water just flowing through North Lot as cars drive by. We're trying to load this video for you right now. There was also water rushing down near the hill, near Village and Complex. You can see that right here.
We did hear of some flooding in dorms, and we're working to find out if there was any damage.
Yeah, you can still see these cars right here going through. So much water in North Lot.
Speaking of the rain, Hurricane Lee is on the horizon and may leave some impact on Connecticut.
Q30's Seth Bromowitz is back to give us the full forecast and let us know if there's any more showers coming our way. Seth?
Thanks, Katie and Connor. Looking across at the next 7 days, we see that Thursday and Friday are looking about the same as I left you guys last. Well, as we look to the weekend and early next week, upper 70s in the highs, low 50s with a lot of sun. As we go across the state for tomorrow, we see that Greenwich, Connecticut has a high of 76 with a low of 59 and a lot of sun. As we move up north, we see the temperatures start to dip a little bit, still with a bit of that sun. And out west in Connecticut is the same deal. Sun, high 70s, low 50s, and it's looking like a great week. That's it for weather. I'll send it back to Katie and Connor.
Thanks, Seth. Monday marked 22 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people and forever changed this country. There were tributes across the country, notably in New York City, where the Twin Towers stood, and at the Pentagon, where the second plane crashed. Here in Connecticut, many towns remembered the legacy of those who died. At Quinnipiac, members of the university held a flag raising on the quad. It's done every year at 8:45 a.m., the time the first plane hit the World Trade Center in 2011.
It's been a busy week across the national and the world.
Remnants of natural disasters and health shortages are looming. To tell us more about that, we have Q30's Casey Nadelka.
Thanks, guys. Let's get right into it. This past Friday, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck central Morocco, killing nearly 3,000 people and injuring around 5,500 more. As rescue teams search the rubble for survivors, Moroccans who have lost their homes are now displaced, with many sleeping in the streets. Moroccan officials declared Sunday that they will only accept aid from Spain, Qatar, Britain, and the UAE. Americans looking to help should donate to organizations such as the International Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, and UNICEF. The American Red Cross announced on Monday that there is a nationwide blood shortage. Dropping 25% since early August, the national blood supply is reaching critically low levels. There has been an increased demand for blood due to recent climate disasters such as Hurricane Idalia, with the Red Cross saying, quote, "Donors of all blood types are urgently needed, and there is an emergency need for platelet donors," unquote. Quinnipiac students looking to donate blood can visit redcrossblood.org to see local donation centers. America's largest lithium deposit was discovered this past week in a West Coast caldera. The McDermott caldera is the source of the newly government-approved Thacker Pass mine, containing up to 120 million metric tons of lithium. While lithium is in high demand due to its use in electric car batteries, mining it won't be easy. Thacker Pass, or Pihimaha, is a traditional homeland for several indigenous nations and the site of an 1865 indigenous massacre. In a statement by people of the Red Mountain, mining the lithium would be, quote, "like building a mine over Pearl Harbor," unquote. Any official plans for the mine would only begin as early as 2026. That's all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Definitely a lot going across the country. Thanks, Casey. And there's even more happening in the Quinnipiac sports world. Learn the latest about the women's soccer season and when they'll take the turf again.
And we're visiting your favorite off-campus dining spots to celebrate the newest Student Choice Award winners. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Thank you for sticking with us on this edition of the Q30 Newscast. If you've ever wanted insight on the journey to the Men's Ice Hockey National Championship, now's the time. The 10th Second podcast highlights the team from 1975 to their recent victory. The host talks with head coach Rand Pecknold and the previous team captains. The first 3 episodes are out right now. You can find them on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
While the men's hockey team gets ready for another big season, fall sports are well underway.
Q30's Aaron Epstein has the top of it all. Aaron, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Katie and Connor. Even with all the game cancellations, there was a lot that happened in Quinnipiac sports this week. Let's begin with Leilani Kaijusta, who made an immediate impact for the women's volleyball team during their non-conference tournaments. Justa took home both the MAC Rookie of the Week and the Player of the Week awards after stepping in for the injured Ariana Diaz. This is the second week in a row she has been named the MAC Rookie of the Week. Justa recorded 21 kills in her first invitational game, while adding another 18 kills in her next 2 matches. Justa will look to continue her impressive start to the season against the Niagara Purple Eagles on Saturday. Now moving on to the pitch, women's soccer defeated Niagara in their first conference away game, shutting them out 4-0. This marks back-to-back shutouts for senior goalie Sofia Lospinoso. As well as Lospinoso, another senior had a big impact on the game. Transfer Victoria Foster recorded her first goal as a Bobcat. With this victory, Quinnipiac has improved their away record to 1-1. They will take on Princeton at home in their next game this Sunday. Crossing over to the court, 3 former men's basketball players signed with professional teams this week. Forward Ike Nweke joined Joost United, a Dutch club, after finishing his college eligibility at Quinnipiac. Nweke averaged 10 points and 5.5 rebounds per game last season. Fellow forward Jacob Rigoni will be returning home as he signed with the Adelaide 36ers. Finally, Aaron Falzone agreed to a deal with the Kagawa 5 Arrows in Japan. Best of luck to them in their professional seasons. That's all we have this week in sports. Back to the desk with Katie and Connor.
There's some very exciting news in the Q30 television sports world that we want to share with you today.
Q30 Television just announced a partnership with Quinnipiac Athletics.
That means you'll see Q30 members at fall and spring sporting games, helping broadcast for viewers across the country.
We spoke to Nick Solari, the Quinnipiac Associate Athletic Director in Athletic Communications, about what this partnership means.
It helps enhance our broadcast and what we do, and that's a big part of how we showcase our campus. Is our live events and certainly how we tell the stories of all the great accomplishments of our student athletes.
Yeah, Connor, this is just such an exciting opportunity. I'm so excited to see some of the Q30 sports people get out and get some real good opportunities and work with athletics. We're so excited.
Yeah, now definitely Q30 always prides themselves on the fact that we are able to give students real-world opportunities right away, and this new partnership only allows that to continue to happen, not only in the studio that we're in right now, but also at the 21 division varsity sports that we have here on campus. Really an exciting time to be a member of Q30.
Yeah.
There are plenty of great places to eat and hang out when you leave the Quinnipiac campus.
And every year, students vote on their favorites in the Student Choice Awards.
There are a lot of notable winners, ranging from late-night foods to coffee and even ice cream.
Q30's Keenan Mills visited some of students' favorites to see what the hype is all about.
The 2023 Student Choice Award winners were released this past week. There were some surprises, and there are some familiar names on the long list voted on by students. Categories included everything from favorite breakfast places to the Bobcats' best spot to get a late-night snack. If there's something in the Hamden area, Quinnipiac students are going to find it. Anything from a cup of Morning Joe, they can go to a favorite coffee shop. Wash it down with a favorite bacon, egg, and cheese just down the road at Funkel's. And on the commute from main campus to York Hill, you can get a favorite sandwich, and in the same complex, 2 award winners in Tonitos and fresh grains and proteins, all conveniently right around campus.
Personally, I have my car, so it's literally 2 seconds, but even if you don't, it's literally 3 minutes down the road, and having ice cream or just a place to get a sandwich or regular food, right on our main road, that's amazing, just so you don't have to eat the dining hall food.
Some winners can be found right on Dixwell. Others, as well as a certain fan favorite, find themselves along the lengthy Whitney Avenue. The student body voted and they got their winners. Each restaurant got a plaque. Some put stickers up. At the front door of Ixtapa, this is the first thing that you see when you walk in the door. Nestled right next to another award winner, Ixtapa is known for its great food and even better environment. If there's one thing this place loves more than its music, it's Quinnipiac.
When they're here, the sales increase, the business is better. And without it, we have just local customers, and but the students, Quinnipiac, they're a lot to us.
After celebrating their 20th anniversary in February, they also offer outdoor seating when the weather allows. Quinnipiac students settle right back into campus. They are quick to find the best spots around, the spots that might win the 2024 Student Choice Awards. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Keenan Mills.
Thanks, Keenan. There are so many great choices on that list, and we wanted to find out what your favorite is.
We brought our Q30 News poll this week asking which award-winning spot you should take the top spot.
And the results are in. We're loading them right now. Out of the 56 votes, Corner Deli came out on top with a whopping 43%.
Funkel's was next with 26%, then Ixtapa and Tonina's Pizza.
Make sure to follow us on X at Q30 News so you can make your voice heard in our next poll. And now, there were so many great options on that. But I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that Funkel's didn't win. It is my favorite. We covered it for Q30 News last year, and ever since then, they're my best friends. I love going there every weekend, but what do you think?
Now, Katie, you know that I'll eat about everything, but I love Funkel's. But if I had to pick one, it's got to be right down there at the corner deli. I always get the exact same thing every single time: the chicken Caesar wrap. Excuse me. But it's always a classic. But all those options out there were awesome to go to today.
Yeah, I definitely been wanting to try Corner Deli. I mean, I've been here for 4 years and I've never tried it. What am I doing? Everyone talks about it all the time.
Definitely worth the stop. Definitely worth the stop.
Oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, that'll do it tonight on the Q30 Newscast.
But Q30 never goes away. You can follow us on social media for updates all week long.
We'll be back next week with more news from across Quinnipiac and Hamden. Same place, same time. Until then, I'm Katie Cohen.
And I'm Connor Core. Good night, Bobcats.